I'm 74 years old, and I've been thinking a lot lately about how I spent most of my life pretending I didn't feel anything. Not because I was cold, not because I didn't care, but because somewhere along the way, I learned that feelings were inconvenient, that they slowed things down, that they made people uncomfortable, so I just didn't deal with them. And I'm sitting here now, alone in this house, and I can tell you exactly what that cost me. Everything. I didn't notice it happening. That's the part that still gets me. You don't wake up one day and realize you've destroyed every meaningful relationship in your life. It happens so slowly you think you're doing fine. I was married for 32 years. Her name was Beth. We met when I was 26, got married 2 years later. Everyone said we were a good match, stable, reliable, and we were, on paper, but I never told her what I was really thinking. Not the important things, not the stuff that scared me or kept me up at night or made me feel like I was drowning. I just kept it inside and told myself that's what you do. You handle it, you don't burden people. When she got upset, I'd go quiet. Not to punish her. I genuinely didn't know what to say. I'd feel this tightness in my chest, this panic almost, and I'd just shut down. I'd leave the room, go work in the garage, tell myself we'd talk about it later. We never talked about it later. She'd try. God, she tried. She'd sit me down and say, I need to know what you're feeling. I need to understand what's going on with you. And I'd say something like, I'm fine. It's not a big deal. Because in my head, feelings weren't facts. They didn't matter as much as getting things done. Paying the bills, keeping everything running. I thought I was being strong. I thought I was protecting her from my mess. But what I was really doing was locking her out, year after year, until one day she stopped asking. I remember the night she told me she wanted a divorce. I was 60. We were sitting in the living room and she just said it, calm, like she'd been thinking about it for a long time. And I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just nodded. She looked at me and said, you know what the hardest part is? I don't even know if you're sad right now. I've spent 3 decades next to you and I have no idea who you really are. I wanted to say something. I wanted to tell her I was terrified, that I didn't want her to leave, that I'd spent our whole marriage feeling like I wasn't enough, like if I let her see the real me, she'd realize she'd made a mistake. But I didn't say any of that. I just said, I understand. She left 2 months later. My kids were already grown by then. 2 daughters. I thought I'd been a good father. I provided for them, showed up to their school events, helped them with homework, did all the things you're supposed to do. But I never told them I was proud of them, not in any way that mattered. When my oldest, Sarah, graduated college, she gave a speech. I sat there watching her and I felt this overwhelming rush of pride. She was brilliant, confident, everything I'd never been. And after the ceremony, she came up to me. And I could see she wanted something, some acknowledgement, some sign that I'd seen her. I shook her hand. I said, good job. That's it. Good job. Like she'd finished mowing the lawn. She smiled, but I saw her face fall just a little. I told myself it was fine, that she knew I was proud, that I didn't need to make a big deal out of it. But she didn't know. How could she? My youngest, Emily, stopped calling me about 10 years ago. I didn't notice right away. She'd been the one who always reached out, who tried to keep the family connected. But at some point, the calls got less frequent. And then they just stopped. I told myself she was busy, that she had her own life. But the truth is, I think she got tired. Tired of trying to have a relationship with someone who never gave anything back, who never asked how she was really doing, who never said, I miss you, or I wish you were here. I don't blame her. I think about this sometimes. How I spent decades surrounded by people who loved me, and I kept every single one of them at arm's length. Not because I didn't love them, but because I didn't know how to let them in. I had friends too. Not many, but a few. From work mostly. We'd get lunch sometimes, grab a beer after a long week, but I never told them anything real. We'd talk about sports, about politics, about the weather, safe things, surface things. One of them, Greg, died about 5 years ago. Heart attack. He was 67. We'd known each other for almost 30 years. And when I went to his funeral, I realized I didn't know anything about him. Not really. I didn't know what scared him, or what he dreamed about, or what he regretted. I'd spent 3 decades having the same conversation with him over and over, and I'd never once asked him how he was actually doing. And it hit me then, standing there, that nobody at my funeral is going to know me either. Because I never let anyone know me. I kept thinking there'd be time. That's the thing nobody tells you. You spend your whole life assuming there's going to be more time, more chances, more opportunities to say the things you should have said. But time just keeps moving, and the people in your life keep getting older. And one day, you look around and realize the window has closed. Beth remarried about 5 years after our divorce. I heard about it through Sarah. She's happy, apparently. Lives in Arizona now with a man who, from what I understand, actually talks to her. I'm glad. I mean that. She deserves that. But it stings. It stings because I had 32 years to give her that, and I didn't. I spent so much of my life afraid. That's what it comes down to. I was afraid that if I opened up, if I let people see what was really going on inside me, they'd realize I wasn't worth the effort, that I was weak or broken or too much. So I protected myself. I built walls. I convinced myself that being self-sufficient, that not needing anyone was strength. But all it did was guarantee that I'd end up alone. I live by myself now. Have for the last 14 years. Small house, quiet neighborhood. I go to the store once a week, watch TV most nights. Sometimes I call Sarah, but we don't talk long. She's polite, but I can tell she's just being dutiful. Emily, I haven't spoken to in years. I don't even have her current number, and the silence is loud. That's the only way I can describe it. When you spend your whole life avoiding your feelings, avoiding real connection, you think you're building peace. But what you're actually building is this hollow, echoing kind of loneliness, because there's no one left who knows you. I think about my life sometimes, and I try to pinpoint when it all went wrong, when I made the choice that led to this. But I don't think there was one moment. It was 1,000 little moments, 1,000 times I could have said something true and didn't. 1,000 times I chose silence over vulnerability. I thought I was saving myself from pain, but all I did was guarantee it. There's this thing that happens when you get old. People stop expecting much from you. They assume you figured it all out, that you've made your peace with your choices, and most of the time, I'll let them think that. But the truth is, I haven't figured anything out. I just ran out of time to fix it. Beth isn't going to call me. My daughters aren't going to suddenly decide they want a relationship with a father who never gave them one. The friends I had are gone or moved on. And I'm left with all these things I should have said, all these feelings I should have expressed, and absolutely no one to say them to. That's the part they don't show you. When you spend your life avoiding feelings, you think you're protecting yourself, but you're not. You're just delaying the inevitable. Because eventually, you're going to feel it all anyway. Except by then, it's too late to do anything about it. I don't know if you're someone who struggles with this, with letting people in, with saying what you really mean, with being honest about what's going on inside you. But if you are, I want you to know something. It doesn't get easier. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The walls get higher. The silence gets more comfortable. And the people in your life, the ones who loved you, they start to give up. Not because they don't care, but because loving someone who won't let you in is exhausting. I wish I'd understood that when I was younger. I wish someone had sat me down and told me that vulnerability isn't weakness, that letting people see you, really see you, is the only way to build something real. But I don't think I would have listened. I was so convinced I was doing the right thing, so sure that keeping everything inside was the mature, responsible thing to do. And now I'm here, 74 years old, alone, with all these regrets and no way to undo them. I'm not telling you this to make you feel sorry for me. I made my choices. I live with them. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to end up here. I don't want you to spend decades building a life that looks fine on the outside but feels empty on the inside.
I don't want you to wake up one day and realize that all the people who loved you have stopped trying. Because they will, eventually. Not because they're cruel, but because people can only reach out so many times before they stop reaching. I think about what I'd do differently if I could go back. And the answer is everything. I'd tell Beth I was scared. I'd tell my daughters I was proud of them, that they were the best thing I ever did. I'd ask my friends how they were really doing and actually listen to the answer. I'd let myself be known. But I can't go back. None of us can. All I can do is sit here and hope that maybe someone hears this and makes a different choice. I don't have much time left. I know that. My body's slowing down. My memory's not what it used to be. And when I'm gone, there won't be many people at my funeral. Maybe Sarah will come. Maybe Emily won't. And I'll be remembered, if I'm remembered at all, as someone who was fine, stable, reliable, but not as someone who was loved. Not really. Because you can't be loved if you never let anyone see you. That's what I've learned. Too late, but I've learned it. I hope you learn it sooner.